You're listening to the Game Tenants Podcast.
What's up, and welcome to the Game Tenants Podcast, the failed adventures of two gamers and their quest for Gamecast stardom.
AKA worthlessly lazy, but so game crazy.
This is episode 85, and I am Church of the Game Grinder, and as always, joined by my excellent co-host, Jason of Corpse Flood Gaming.
Hello, how's it going, everybody?
What's up, folks?
A lot of cool shit.
Got some games to talk about.
Yeah, I'd rather talk about games in the shitty weather.
True that.
Yeah, I've been playing some games, so I've got stuff to talk about. So that's always a plus. Not a lot in the news department, but we got games to talk about, so at least that's a thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's plenty of news stuff, just nothing we care to talk about.
Oh, I don't really feel like talking about, Fortnite news that's bullshit or something. Yeah. But on that note, what the hell you been up to, bud?
I have been playing games, much as people might wonder a little bit. Lots and lots of Death Stranding. For me, anyways.
People are wondering.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. People have been like questioning you online. Like, I don't think this guy even plays games. Know what you're talking about. Well, I'm here to vouch for you. You're pretty legit.
Yeah, I think so.
You might even be too legit.
I don't
In
quit.
fact, I'm going to go as far as you might be too legit to quit.
Yeah. No, lots of Death Stranding. I wanted to kind of be able to just talk a lot about Death Stranding this episode, so that's why we didn't talk about it last time. So we will...
We tried to keep it with topics that the back in the day gamer could talk about. I mean, that ain't back in the day. That's back a couple of days ago.
And we do got other games to talk about, so don't worry, it's not going to be just Death Stranding. Cause
I played other stuff.
Yeah.
So you played a little bit of other stuff too, didn't you?
Yeah. I do want to give a shout out to the SNES Anthology review that I did. For anybody who might have not checked that out, I got hit up randomly, seemingly anyways.
Yeah.
Asked if I wanted to review this book. I checked it out real quick, Googled it, seen what it was looking like, and I was like, this looks pretty cool. Turns out it was.
That was random. Same random person didn't hit me up, so
yeah.
But I like books. I might not sound like I know how to read, but I do.
And
I like video games.
I will say it's definitely better than Douchebag Pat's book, so
I'm gonna have to throw my hat in that ring.
Geeks line, as far as I know, they're not full of themselves and whatever. I'm not gonna get into it.
Going to get on a Pat rant?
Yeah, no, not today. But yeah, check out the SNES Anthology if you're into like game compendium books. It's pretty cool.
It looked cool. I like how it was in two different books for the hardware and the software.
Yeah, and that's
this little box set.
What really makes it like, I mean, seriously, like it's the most definitive one yet. I mean, of course, I'm super hyped about like Brett Weiss's SNES Omnibus books. I was in those books, but they just cover the North American Library. I believe Pat's book just covers the North American Library. I think even only I think Jeffrey Wittenhagen's only covers the North American Library too. Like nobody covers the Super Famicom, like the
That's
PAL.
what I want to know more about. Like,
Yeah,
I can find out about Super Nintendo.
This has all the Famicom or Super Famicom games. Has all the PAL exclusive game or like
PAL in Japan.
Yeah, and then it covers the hardware and the accessories and third-party accessories. So that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So check it out.
Yeah, I was super interested. That's why I was like, I was waiting by my emails, by my social medias, and I got no messages saying, "Hey, how about we could have talked about it on the podcast."
Could
It
have.
would have been such a great afternoon.
Well, next time.
Oh, but I like Super Nintendo. I don't care about the next time. It's gonna be
That's
something
true.
else then. Super Nintendo's my fave.
He's been giving me shit about this for a while now, because I should have thought about that. But whatever.
Just casting some gentle shade.
So moving on, we will talk about Death Stranding. I'll save my thoughts, but talk about some other games first, and then kind of.
What have you been playing?
Death Stranding.
You playing anything else?
Yeah, so after Death Stranding, jumped into Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which is Cartridge Club Game of the Month for December. And I was like, okay, it's finally time to play this.
It's always fun to play that.
I still kind of do, but I love BioWare. This was like prime BioWare right after Neverwinter Nights.
I couldn't understand how you hadn't played it yet. I was like, how?
Well, I don't know. It's when they released the prequels, it really dashed my love for Star Wars. I loved Star Wars, and people were like, "Oh, it doesn't take anything away from the trilogy," but for me, it took away from the future. And it's never been the same because they eliminated the whole the extended universe and stuff, and that was
they only eliminated that when Disney bought
universe.
it. Yeah, Disney is what did that. Not
Lucas did it when he's like, "Fucking midichlorians." It's like, go fuck yourself.
Shit
I don't want to rant about that, but start playing Knights of the Old Republic. I decided to kind of jump into a bunch of suggested kind of quality of life visual enhancement mods because I'm playing the PC version. Have no idea if they work or anything because
just so you know, Thomas the Tank Engine isn't actually in KOTOR when you go to play it.
Right.
And
that much that much I know. These are just improved lighting effects, better textures, nothing altering.
Yeah.
And then apparently there was a lot of cut content that was purely cut for time that was nearly completed, if not completed, or just needed some bugs worked out. Some of the patches or mods that I added are supposed to include those. Like I said, I don't know if any of these mods are actually working because I don't have anything to gauge it off of. I usually will play a game mod free, but I figured what the hell, get a little enhancement. I was unsuccessfully I wasn't able to get the widescreen patch working, or there's a 1080 patch or mod that I wasn't able to get either of them working, so that's kind of annoying. And I can't undo the work, so I got some
snowboarding?
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool game.
Put snowboarding in Star Wars because that's what the Kessel Run's all about.
Well, snowboarding. Well, let me tell you about a Star Wars game in a minute.
Nice. But I was I only got a 2 maybe 3 hours in. When I play these games, I take my time. I talk to all the characters and NPCs and stuff. So right now I'm just wandering around talking to people, doing stuff at the cantina, which is the beginning of the game still. So it's pretty cool. I like that the mechanics behind it is very similar to Neverwinter Nights. I mean it's pretty much using the D20 system. So
yeah, it's pretty awesome. I gotta get back. Maybe I'll pop it in for a bit this month.
Do it
again. I've already
play along with Prime. Hashtag play along with Prime.
There's no co-op.
We can still play the game. And as a community, then we
with
come
Optimus
together and
Prime.
listen to the podcast and talk about it on Twitter and stuff. It's hey, it's fun. They got a forum.
It is.
If you're into forums, they got a Discord server, which I don't use either because I don't really use Discord. Maybe I should.
Yeah,
Convince me, people, why I should use Discord.
I checked it out a bit. This not their specific one, but just in general.
Maybe that's the problem.
And it's just like, what?
That we're not checking out the cartridge
I
club.
just had I've had a couple people. I think I have actually checked theirs out now. I think of it.
I joined it.
But yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
It just seems really. I think I prefer other social medias, but to each their own. I mean, the more the merrier. Be on all platforms kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But enough about what I've been up to. What have you been up to?
Playing a lot of games somehow.
A few more games than I got.
Yeah, man. I finally finished Astral Chain.
Yay.
Like
I'm proud of you.
Said the last time I was going to push through it, and I pushed through it, and it was pretty cool. Not amazing.
Didn't deliver.
I honestly just got really bored of the combat, and rinse and repeat.
That's a bummer.
Honestly, of the same kind of stuff. It was like my killer app for the Switch, like what I was really looking forward to for the Switch for the, the fall season, I guess, late summer kind of thing. And it just kind of dropped the ball. It seemed like it started strong, and then when I posted my little like mini review when I beat it, a lot of people seem to agree with me. Like, yeah, I just stopped playing with it, and it's a bummer. Like, I was really wanting to like it. Like it. I don't know. It ended like I said, it ended pretty cool, but getting there was a slog. I was, definitely a little bit let down by that one. But then I followed it up with some amazing ass shit. Because
snowboarding?
1080 snowboarding every day. Kinda though. Star Wars Fallen Order. Jedi Fallen Order. It was awesome. I haven't really heard anything bad about it from just about anyone. Everyone's calling it basically Dark Souls, Star Wars, and I don't know. That's pretty loose.
Yeah, from what I've seen a couple. I haven't played it. I've seen a couple.
You need
reviews.
some strat. You can't just run at it and attack.
It's like super.
You gotta have a bit of strategy, but you can. There is difficulty levels you can choose, so it can be easier. So but in general, it's as long as you're not. I'm not gonna say stupid, but as long as you're mindful and know like who's all attacking you. It's I didn't find it very overwhelming, or I didn't really get stuck that much at parts. You level up and you kind of you don't really unlock force powers. He remembers them. So because I don't know, he just like was repressing his force abilities. It's pretty cool. Like I liked a lot of the characters. The main character I find kind of generic, honestly. His bot that he has with him, I really liked a lot. He had a lot of personality. He doesn't talk. He just makes beeps and boops, but he was pretty cool. And all the supporting characters I really liked. The acting was awesome. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's one of the siblings off of Shameless.
Well, that's the main character.
Some other stuff. Yeah, that's him. But then there's what's her name? Deborah something from one of the original Mad TV.
Oh, Deborah
members?
Wilson. She's in everything.
Deborah Wilson. Yeah, she's in that now. She was also in Wolfenstein 2, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so she was like one of the main characters in that, like on your team. I really liked the story about it. It was better than the latest Star Wars movies. And kind of speaking, like you were saying, the prequels kind of killed Star Wars for you. For me, video games got me into Star Wars, I would say, and video games kept me not just totally forgetting and dropping Star Wars. Because even like the prequels sucked, I hated them, but the games that came out of the prequels were pretty good, I find. So the games just kept it alive. KOTOR was out, I'd seen. It's funny because my dad's a big big sci-fi guy,
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek, and he's always watching the Space Channel and all that kind of shit. And we just didn't have Star Wars though. Like I'd seen Star Wars, but I wasn't just like huge into it.
Interesting.
And then I played Shadows of the Empire, and that's what really pulled me into it. Like I just became obsessed with Star Wars after that. So I actually have to thank the prequels in a way because it kind of kept me from getting ridiculously into Star Wars. So that's one positive thing I can think of is like
Sure.
it probably saved me a lot of money because of how much merch Star Wars has.
Right.
You know, I still got a bit of it, but I'm not. Yeah, it could be like my video games level of collecting. So there's that. But yeah, it was overall a really fun game. How
long?
A lot of people are saying it like it borrows from this and that. I mean, what games don't borrow
Yeah.
from that? It's funny because I really like that channel Girlfriend Reviews, and they're usually pretty. Even when they kind of rip on something, it's just kind of like, yeah. But this one, she was like, they gutted it.
Well, I watched.
How it's like Uncharted and it's Dark Souls and it doesn't
Yeah.
do anything original. I was like, you know what? Yeah, like any platform game, you know.
I
It's
didn't
like
really
a-
get the
it's
vibe they're ragging on it too hard.
I'm not saying they like absolutely destroyed it or anything, but yeah, they were like, skip it. You know, it's not, you know, nothing original. And I'm
Seems like they had a lot of
if it-
frustrations from like glitches and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't really get a lot of glitches in mine, so I can't really speak to that. I played it on both the Pro and the standard PS4, and I got a bit of in one area. It seemed to load a lot, but I don't know if that was just because I was playing on a standard PS4 at that time. But yeah, I didn't get a lot of, you know, a little bit, but nothing frustrating or, you know, nothing made me die or I didn't fall through anything. So there's that. A lot of the you know, platforming, like swinging on ropes and shit, sometimes it wouldn't line up, but that was more probably my own fault kind of shit, trying to rush back through an area that I'd been through. Yeah, overall I loved it, and I really hope they do a sequel because I felt his force powers were kind of in the middle. Like he wasn't like turbo overpowered like Force Unleashed Starkiller. Like he didn't pull it. So sorry, spoiler alert. He didn't pull a fucking Star Destroyer out of orbit or anything. But you know, he was Vader's apprentice, so yeah, that'll happen. But it was yeah, it was pretty cool. It was good to get back to a good story-driven single-player Star Wars game. So overall, yeah, I can't say enough good stuff about it. If you like Star Wars, I don't think you'll be disappointed. I don't mind things kind of borrowing from other things because, you know, not really many games don't do that anymore. A lot of the good ideas have been had. It was just a good blend of the things that I borrowed from, I thought. So they were like, yeah, a lot of people were like, oh, if it was wasn't Star Wars, you wouldn't care. I'm like, I probably would actually. So fuck you.
How long?
How long? Hard to say. I played it on PS4, so I can't just check my time. But I'd say probably 30 hours, 25, 30 hours. Good amount. I did pretty much everything. I didn't rush through. I enjoyed, you know, exploring the areas because there's totally giant missable areas that you didn't have to go through that you could, and it was, you know, it was kind of Metroidvania in the way where you get a new force power so you can open doors in areas you couldn't before, so you can go back and forth. There's about 6 planets, I think, in the game that you can kind of go back and forth and check out more areas and unlock more shit. It was, yeah, awesome. So yeah, if you like Star Wars even a little bit, I'd say check it out. Don't let the Dark Souls thing sway you thinking, oh man, it'll be too tough, I'll just get pissed off at it, because you like I said, you could play on easy and you could probably run right through it. So if you just want the story, there's that. If you want the challenge, it's there too. So I think it's for everybody in the whole world. And then after that, I played some Death Stranding, but we'll be talking more in depth about that, I think.
Yes.
And then earlier today, like I beat Death Stranding last night, and then today I beat Assault Suit Lanos, which was pretty awesome. I liked it a lot. It's a run and gun. It's the prequel to Cybernator. It's also called Target Earth on the Genesis.
Well, Target Earth is its own game, and then Cybernator is AKA Assault Suit Vulcan.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Assault Suit Linos.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, I saw something saying that they're the same game, but okay. It was pretty awesome. I liked it a lot. My only problem, honestly, was, I beat it and I don't have one single trophy to show for it. I don't know what I did wrong or if there's something, I don't know. I met the requirements of several, trophies and just didn't get any.
Like multiple sittings?
Multiple sittings, I mean.
Like
I beat it in a sitting.
Okay, I was going to say maybe.
I went right through it. I don't know. Well, maybe it'd be one of those games where I put in a different game and all my trophies for that game pop for no reason.
Or like a second session or something.
Yeah, kind of like that time what the hell was it? I put in some Xbox game, and I hadn't played Gears 4 it was 4 in like months, and then randomly, like 250 gamer score for fucking Gears 4 popped up, and I was like, oh, I'll take it, whatever.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah, it was I don't really care that much about trophies that it hurt my feelings. I was just kind of like, oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But it was a really cool run and gun with you're in a mech just like Cybernator, and it was pretty fair challenge, and then at the end it just really ramped up. Like the levels were pretty short, and then you had a standard boss, but I didn't really have any challenge in any of them until the last mission just kind of went on. I'd say probably like 5 times as long as any other level. There's only 8 missions, and the 8th mission was just like, here's all the challenge of the entire game. All right, I accept. But yeah, overall really cool. Pretty standard story. Nothing really to write home about, but I didn't really need it. As long as the gameplay is good, I can forgive a kind of weak story.
Sure. Yeah, actually, I pre-ordered the game, and I still haven't played it yet.
What a jerk. Especially with how much you like to Assault Suit Vulcan and Cybernator. I figure I actually thought you had, because before we started, I was like, oh yeah, that part where I was going to say, like, that part, but you were like, you hadn't played it yet. I was like, oh, I could swear you did, because I knew you had it.
Yeah.
But, all right. And then before that, I beat a game called Cyvaria Delta, which is a shmup on PS4. I picked it up randomly on one of my out-of-town trips, and then the same day, our buddy Captain Algebra did a pickup video where he got it too, and I was like, I've never even heard of this game before. I just kind of was like, oh, shmup, sold. So that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, well, at least I know someone else who has it. And it was a lot of fun. Shmups don't really break the mold that much, but I don't hold that against them. This one doesn't have any like power-ups. You don't pick up anything from ships you destroy like other games to get different. You just constantly level up, like really quickly, and then it just changes your shot. So you don't lose anything when you die, really. And there's the shoulder buttons. It does this roll, and I thought that was just kind of to avoid, when the bullet hell shit's going on, to kind of like get through the big clouds of bullets. But it actually concentrates your fire forward. So, you always have like the spreading shot, or you'll have like ones that come right out the sides and go straight out to the left and right. This just goes, shoots it right in front of you, so you got like a concentrated beam. And yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I would say that was like probably the most standout part, that you could do something like that. And It was standout enough for me. I played through it a couple times. Before I say I beat a shmup, I try to go through it with a couple of characters and stuff because they're generally pretty short.
Mm-hmm.
So I used all the available characters and stuff, and pretty standard stuff. But I'd say check it out if you find it decently cheap, or if you just like shmups in general. Good shit. Anyway, why don't we talk about small games?
Retro game highlight. We need to get some, like, what do they call them, bumpers or whatever.
Retro game highlight.
So
I'm not doing that every time, so that's the only time you get that one.
that one's on the house.
Do what you will. Next one will cost you.
Yeah. So last time, back in the gamer, talked about Willow on the NES.
He was actually the back in the day gamer, but yes.
What?
You just called him back in the gamer.
No, I didn't. Did I?
Yeah.
I hope not.
I think so. I don't know. We'll do a replay. Let us know in the comments what you thought.
All right.
Yeah, he brought up Willow. I wasn't trying to nitpick, but
good correction.
But Willow, good game. It was a solid pick. And it made me actually want to run through the arcade game. I think I'm going to do that in the next couple of days.
Maybe
I've
only
only
rewatched the movie.
Check it out. You want to watch it?
Yeah, it made me want to rewatch the movie.
Do it. It's on Disney Plus.
I got it on DVD.
You know what? Fuck you. Get Disney Plus and watch Mandalorian. All right. Quit being such a holdout, edgelord.
Must be an edgelord. Thank you very much. Anyways, this time I want to talk about it's a favorite. Not like, I don't know if it would be a top 10 favorite NES game, but
Top #1 game of all time.
maybe. No. But it's pretty cool. And that's Ivan Iron Man Stewart's Super Off-Road, or Super Off-Road, to keep it simple.
Hellith, yeah.
It's a kind of a top-down racing game.
It's an isometric.
Yeah, isometric on the NES.
Yeah.
You can see the whole track, and basically you're like rally trucks, and you just go around this little track. It's 4-player.
It was really weird to play in arcade. Have you ever played the arcade of it?
I had the high score at our local arcade in Off-Road until they unplugged it.
You unplugged it before you played, and then you...
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. No, I dumped like a ton of quarters into that to get the high score, just because, like, yeah, I have that score.
Badass.
But yeah, you had the wheel.
Yeah, I remember it being short. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember... I guess there's different models of it, but yeah, wasn't it like a sit-down one?
No.
I'm not saying like the whole like sitting, but I thought maybe the one I played just had like a little seat where you could sit and play
maybe.
it. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a fun game. I think if you play the arcade game, I think that's
Probably the best way, but
probably just overall. But I mean, you can play 2-player on the NES. I think you can play 4-player. Can you?
I think it is one of the 4-player games. Yeah.
Let's see. I can confirm real quick. Yeah.
Sweet.
It's awesome.
It is.
Check it out.
Yeah, it's one of the games that I think would like. I don't know. I don't like playing a lot of the retro racers, but that one I like to go back to for sure. And it's super cheap, so if you don't got it in the collection, it's an easy addition. Won't hurt the wallet. The wallet.
Yeah, for sure. So, check it out.
Do it or don't.
Or don't. So, I guess real quick before we talk about some Death Stranding, got a couple news mentions. More so just things. One in particular I wanted to kind of like give a shout out in case anybody hadn't heard of it, and that is the announcement of Half-Life Alyx.
Sweet. Starring Alex Trebek. I can't wait.
Yes, the beloved, so this is a sort of prequel side spin-off Half-Life game. So it's, it's not Half-Life 3. which, given the situation, I think they made the right choice by doing more of a side-off thing. But
Well, yeah, if you're gonna release 3 and then make it a really kind of like a niche thing,
Yeah.
you're gonna piss a lot of people off. So
Yeah.
this way, at least they're like, well, they should call it Half-Life 0.3 just to troll, since it's like a prequel. Half-Life 0.3.
yeah, because it takes place in between, or basically before Half-Life 2 starts. And you play as Alex Vance, which is one of the supporting characters from Half-Life 2. And much like everything else that Valve releases, usually when they release a game, they try to they push a technology a little bit forward. And I will say that what they at least showed in the trailer, physics-wise and whatnot, looked awesome. Looks great.
That is good to hear. At least someone there is making games again.
Yeah. And
I saw one of those, what the fuck is it called? Like the Hard Times articles or whatever, where it said like rogue Steam developer caught working on a game or something.
yeah, they're an interesting company.
I mean, they make so much off Steam, they don't need to. But
well, they
also...
basically they do. They're always working on things, but they work on what they feel like working. And if it doesn't amount to anything, then they just okay, dump it, move on to the next thing.
Well, as I said, they don't have to. It's just kind of their development cycle is not like a hobby, not like, oh, we gotta rush to meet deadlines. Like, fuck your deadline. Well, maybe make it in your lifetime. Maybe make it the day after you die.
In some aspects, they still do that stuff, but yeah, they generate so much money from Steam, from Dota. Yeah. TF2.
It's
crazy. But Half-Life Alyx, I mean, personally, I'm gonna do everything in my power to get or borrow a VR system from somebody, because it's PC VR only. You can use like the Rift, you can use the Oculus. Probably best experience on the Valve Index, I'd imagine.
So if you end up selling your games, just let me know. Do a flip. Just kidding. Nah, don't do that. Why did I put that idea in your head? Why did I do that just now?
Sell my games. Not gonna do it.
Good.
Yeah, so check it out. I'm excited.
Oh, I will if it comes to PSVR, because I don't feel like spending that kind of money on VR.
Yeah.
I love VR. I don't feel like investing in it that much. I like my lazy man VR how it is.
Sure. Well, we'll see. Comes out in March, so it's just right around the corner. If it doesn't get delayed.
So you can pick up a holiday time job.
Yeah.
Soup up the old PC.
Something.
So you can play it on max settings. Shit.
Anyways, enough about that. We just got a really cool announcement.
Well, finally, they basically forced the announcement.
Yeah.
Because people, I mean, we knew what's coming.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it for at least since the remake that came out earlier this year. But Resident Evil 3 is finally officially announced now that they had a leak onto the PSN store of the artwork for the Resident Evil 3 remake. So that's awesome. We were just saying that I need them to do it, and it needs to be on this gen so that I can have 0 to 7 on one console. Hopefully they get 8 out.
I don't think they're going to
get 8 out.
I don't think they're going to get 3 out in 2020. Do you think they will?
Yes. Yes. You do it.
Maybe. I mean, they got a lot of the assets already.
I mean, I fucking told them to, so they have to now, basically. Like, called out on the Game Tenants podcast. Gotta do it now.
Snap.
Capcom, get to it.
Yeah.
I want my 3 and my 8 on this gen so I can have 9 mainline entries. And, I don't know.
I've seen
3 side entries.
some people upset that Jill's not in the halter top.
Fuck those people. Just kidding.
That's what it's called, right?
Just be happy it's coming out anyway.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Getting-
Can't wait. And then
Seriously, this is where we're at. People are like,
Come
you're
on.
not wearing the shirt. I like, fuck yourself. You're lucky they are doing it. They don't have to do it.
I mean, they changed things with 2 remake, and it worked out great.
Amazingly.
Like they changed a lot, but they didn't change a lot.
Capcom has earned a bit of faith back,
Lot
where I
of-
can go. I think that shirt change might be for the best. It might work out better in the game in the long run.
Probably.
We'll see. And you know what? There'll be different outfits. I'm sure there'll be the original
Oh, yeah.
one. You know, look at 2, all the alternate costumes and crap they had on there. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be an option. Don't get too tight of a wedgie.
Jill Collector's Edition?
Jill and Chill Collector's Edition.
That'd be cool. Get a Jill statue?
Yeah.
Well, I want a Clara statue, goddammit. Maybe that's when they do Veronica remake. Oh, snap. I just figured it out. Capcom, if you're listening and you want my money, I will give it to you.
Give me money. For
Free
like
money.
that one guy's money.
Well, I guess
That's why
it's
we're
not
doing
free
it.
money.
Just dump like millions into remaking this game, and I'll give you $60.
Well, no, I give
Even
him
$100. I'll give you $150 for this collector's edition,
Yeah,
just to help you guys out.
right.
But yeah, if 3 is anywhere near as good as 2's remake, we are in
Oh, I'm
for a
stoked.
treat.
3's awesome. So, I want to talk about some Death Stranding. I hope people don't
Okay.
tune out, because I think we'll probably have some interesting thoughts, because there's been a lot of...
It's a polarizing game.
I don't... And why is... isn't every game, like, not for everybody? Why is Death Stranding specifically
Jedi
not
Fallen
for...
Order is for absolutely everybody, I'm pretty sure.
Well...
I didn't even touch on the snowboarding part. There's a lot of spots where you
A lot of people
Slide-
complained
you slide
about
down.
that stuff,
yeah,
from what I've seen.
That was probably one of my least favorite. I mean, it's it goes in with the wall running and
Yeah.
and that kind of traversal. But I was just like, yeah, snowboarding.
You can...
What a okay. Back to Death Stranding, because you do something similar in this game too.
Yeah, you can snowboard in Death Stranding. Sort of.
If you're carrying too heavy a shit and going down too steep of a hill, oh yeah.
Or you could throw the you can get the carrier and you can like ride in the carrier
Yeah, you can do that too.
as a snowboard. I couldn't get it to work ever because I didn't like look out how to properly do it. But anyways, yeah, that's ultimately my question. Like, with any discussion about Death Stranding is why does everybody have to say Death Stranding is like not for everyone when I think how's it more for like how's that more applicable in this case than any other case? Because it's not like trying to be like mass market like Call of Duty or fucking
It'd be,
Smash Bros.
I totally get it. It's
No, it kind of bugs me.
not, it's not going for a wide appeal is what it is. It's going for a specific vision.
That's exactly
It's-
what I prefer.
Yeah, so it's I don't know. It's not, some people want flashy lights and high action, non-stop explosion Michael Bay stuff,
Yeah.
So there's that. That's
Well,
that's what I mean. So
I
thoughts.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, for me, as I was expecting, I had very high hopes for the game, and for me, they delivered. I loved it. I mean, just general thoughts.
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was like, are you asking or are you saying your thoughts? Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts. Then we'll discuss.
Yeah. I mean, like, so, I mean, I guess points of contention. A lot of people saying it was just like a walking sim, that you're, how is it fun? Just like all you do in the game is deliver packages, and those people didn't play this game because, I mean,
for like 75% of it, yeah.
I mean, it's
fair. I see it. Yeah, like it's you can do it as much as you want, or I'm pretty sure that there's endless possibilities for deliveries, but you don't have to. Because myself, I only, after the first little while, I only did the deliveries I pretty much had to do.
I looked at your stats, you just power through that game. I was like, holy crap.
I told you I'd beat, but once then you're like, good luck. And I was like, I don't need luck. I'm lazy.
Man, it's like, wow. You have the lowest completion time I've seen.
Speedrunner?
Yeah.
25 minutes. I beat Death Stranding. I can't believe it. Yeah. What was it? 40 hours and 30 minutes or something?
Yeah, it was quick. My final time was 66.
It's not counting I should have finished it this morning because I basically beat the game and then watched a movie right afterwards when I was already tired when I beat the game. I was just like, holy shit. I knew it was coming though. Like, it's not like I was surprised, like, what? This Kojima game has a long cutscene during it? Oh shit. It was, yeah. I was all in for the story.
Story is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely takes a while to figure out things. Like a good while before things start making sense. Like, they don't give you any major exposition dump at the beginning. They just you're this guy in this world that this event happened in. You don't need to know all the details right this moment. We will explain this stuff to you as you go.
Yeah, and they plant the seeds, and then I found the chapter 3 for me was, I mean, it's over a third of the game. It's got to be almost half the game.
It's a good chunk
of stuff you have to do to progress the story. And I was just like, I just want to know what the fuck is going on. I want to know more story. How do I trigger more story shit? And I was like, am I doing something wrong? Is there something that they asked me to do that I'm just ignoring? And no, I just really got to go to do this. All right.
I mean, I didn't mind.
Yeah. I liked the way they planted the seeds, and they let you. I got what they're going for.
Yeah,
for sure. They wanted to show how bleak and, kind of lonely the world is. There's barely anybody to interact with, which is why I liked the only people I really saw that were not holograms were guys I had to beat the shit out of because they were trying to steal my shit.
Well, there are when you clear out mule areas, and mules are basically, for anybody who doesn't know, there are active enemies. So in certain areas they'll be like on your map, there'll be this big blotch, and that's this
an orange shit.
These other couriers essentially that they rob people and take their packages and stuff. So if they have scanners that will detect you and stuff, and they'll come after you. But if you clear out an area, you'll actually make it, quote unquote, safer for a good time. So then friendly porters will start showing up and actually traveling around and stuff. You gun through it, so you might have not had the chance to do that so much.
I went out of my way to beat the shit out of those guys.
Oh, really?
I was in no way threatened by them.
Yeah, they were pretty easy.
They rush you 8 of them, and you'd be like, bah, bah, bah.
Especially once you get the bola gun, or pretty much you get.
I didn't use any gun. I punched the shit out of them.
Yeah, you can just punch the shit out of them.
I literally would just. I'd have my 3 times as tall as me stack of shit on my back, and they wouldn't even be able to knock it off because it was Mike Tyson. It was fun.
So I think one of the coolest things for me about Death Stranding is kind of like almost turns opposite of what you're initially saying, that the game for the first couple chapters, like it's like desolate, it's very vacant, like you're relatively helpless in many regards. But once you hit chapter 3, kind of when the whole world opens up, because really the first couple chapters are kind of like your tutorial in a way.
Yeah. Well, you're in an area that you don't really spend a lot of time in.
Yeah.
And then you got to go to the main area after that.
Yeah, you start off, and then that's kind of like where the game kicks in with the strand system, and that's kind of like where people are saying, like, you know, sort of a new genre, which, whatever, I don't really care about that debate. But it's a really cool mechanic, and that's what really did a lot for me. And essentially, you can kind of just, in some ways, think of it as like almost like multi-dimensions, where other people are playing, and you're playing in your game, and it's a single-player game, but all your games are connected. So as you are, you know, you can rebuild roads and stuff, or make bridges, and maybe you don't got the funds to do it, and you start building it, and other players will be contributing to the same road system, and it builds faster. Or, oh, hey, this random player that ends up in your strand built a bridge over here to let you get across this river, or built this charging station. And
which
not
is
only
hugely helpful, because this terrain is a pain in the ass at the best of times to traverse. Like, I'm gonna sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but
no.
I'm just gonna say this right here. Fuck the trucks in this game.
Jason didn't use the trucks at all. Like, I used them, like, from the moment I got my hands on them, like the whole game. I was like, holy crap, I could fill this thing up with like 1,000 pounds and make like a bunch of deliveries.
In that way, that could work, but I was just like, this thing can't corner for shit, and all the little rock, it just seemed to get caught on anything, and I was like, nah, this bike, man. this bike is the shit. I didn't.
Yeah, the bike is.
I got the bike. The bike was my. I had.
Well, you didn't deliver anything though.
It was like Red Dead Redemption with the horse, where you're like, that's my horse, don't fuck with my horse. I had a bike that I went out of. I took a delivery to where I stored it in a garage just so I could go get it again. I took a different bike to go there and get my bike. That wasn't even the bike I like. Someone I got from someone in the Strand system. It had their name on it, but I was like, nah, that's my bike. So anytime I could, I was riding my bike, and then my bike just about got wrecked, and then I was able to fix it. But it was a close one.
Yeah.
That was the most I felt for more than any character in that game. That was my bike.
Yeah, so like one of the huge themes with Death Stranding is like really, and that's where the Strand system really like boosts things, is like, you know, connections and building connections. And then as you like, you can, if somebody built a bridge, you can walk up to it and like it, you know, just like social media. And as you increase your like strand rating with people, like more of their things might show up. Like footpaths, you can see like the routes people took. Like if you use your scanner, you'll see the routes on the ground and stuff. And what's really cool is like when you say you go to a new area, like it's all rough, it's all screwed up everywhere. If enough players take the same route, it actually like wears down rocks and makes like a clear dirt path and stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty.
I thought
that's why I'd say that was one of the coolest elements. Like it felt like, in a way, it felt almost like you were playing, like an MMO in a way, but you never saw the other people. They were just they'd leave a ladder there, and oh cool, I don't have to climb this whole rock face. I can just climb this ladder, or this rope, or climb across this bridge instead of having to go through this deep ass water or go way around to where the water isn't deep or whatever. So it definitely came in handy.
Yeah,
I did contribute a bit. I just didn't go out of my way.
Yeah.
I built this whole road portion pretty much by myself, and then it was just like, there's that, and then I like completed another one, but only when I found shit nearby. I wasn't like, that guy right across the map was. it was pretty well done for a lot of it. There was a good portion of like the highway already built in my game.
Nice.
So it was pretty slick.
I built most of my roads. Like, I did get some people contributing, but it was not often. And there was a couple of times where I showed up and I was like, thank God, because there's a couple roads that get like crazy expensive. But yeah, so you can, you're going, essentially the premise of the game is you're traveling across the United States, or what used to be the United States, and you're reconnecting all these different cities and like survivors,
bunkers and safe houses. They're basically bunkers. Like all these people, I wouldn't call it like a vault, but you could kind of compare it to a vault. Like there's some people just live in these little stone buildings that look like they could just be a vault, but you only get to see the inside of like one or two of them, and then there's the giant like centers. Yeah. Where apparently a lot of people live, but you don't really see a lot of. Yeah, everyone's a hologram.
That's almost. such a tease. There's a couple places in the game where you come up to an area, and if you read, much like a lot of modern games, but Kojima games have a lot of things you can read to give you more context and deeper lore, and like you come to a couple areas and there's just these like massive walls, and apparently there's a city over there, but you never get to go in it or see it or anything because you don't really need to. It doesn't really.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to say either way, one way or the other. But it gave me some like thoughts that I was like, oh, this is probably going to turn out to something. But like, it's hard to talk about a lot of this game without going into spoilers. So you can't really explain it without explaining it. And there's some things that I was thinking, and then some things that I called kind of early on that unfortunately were true, so I was not in the least bit surprised, and I was like, oh, that was supposed to be a major reveal. God damn it.
Yeah, there's a couple kind of pacing issues, but I mean, a lot of games have that.
I found it was really vague in the beginning and towards the middle, but at the end, it was like slapping you in the face with it, like, yes, I get it.
Yeah.
I get, especially when like I said, like some of the stuff I knew when I'm like, get to the reveal, I know it now. Like they're just leading into it. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And then they do it, and you're like, yeah, I know. It was supposed to be a big moment, and I was just like, yeah.
And I'll say another thing regarding
that too or not.
Yeah. Another thing regarding gameplay, and like, I'm just gonna say this all the time because nobody else does. Very few references, but I had very strong similar feelings that I got playing like Breath of the Wild, as this is, if you want to go over there, go over there. If you want to climb that mountain, climb that mountain. Like, you can pretty much explore how you want to explore. Breath of the Wild, like, it's a lot less, like, you have the final objective, really, and then you just do whatever. With this one, you have to play through the story beats.
Yeah, you could technically just go right for the end, right at the beginning on Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
If you're a supreme badass and don't give a fuck about anything else.
But the fact that, like, I mean, whenever a game does something, like Breath of the Wild kind of, like, they really took exploration to the next level.
Yeah.
But
he could climb a straight up rock face.
Yeah.
And I would have liked that. That would have been cool. And some parts on here with someone had been like, I left a ladder. You're like, no need. I can climb right up this rock face.
But Death Stranding, like, its exploration and stuff is just, it's so good.
The scenery was really, really cool. Like, especially
yes.
So it's like just breathtaking, but desolate is the word. There was not a lot to, there weren't like landmarks. It was like
vistas.
Yeah, it was vistas, not like, oh, there's a little village over there. Oh, there's what's going on over there? Like, there wasn't anything that pulled me in to go, I need to see what's over there, because there's rarely, a structure. There's a couple areas with like old buildings like that are obviously from before the Death Stranding, and Conan O'Brien
and Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, but he didn't stand out like fucking Conan did. Conan stood up like a sore thumb, especially with his stupid hat.
The otter hat.
Yeah, Jeff Keighley was there too, but yeah.
Yeah, there's I think there was somebody else, but I don't know who it was.
Yeah, they mentioned a bunch of people, and I'm like, I know those two. I don't think I know any of the other.
I think most of them were just actors for the game, but I know there was like at least one other like I don't know, celebrity or whatever, but I don't really know much.
Well, at least they didn't like pander too much and didn't have just like random YouTubes like Ninja wasn't in there or something. I'd be like,
thank
oh,
God.
what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I hope they wouldn't have got my likes. But yeah, it was the story was really cool. I found that the end like really dragged on. I found like where like they almost over explained it at the end. I kind of liked the vagueness of it where you could like interpret, and then by the end you're like, I can't really interpret anything. You just flat out told me that.
I'm fine with that. And I mean I'm a huge Kojima fan to begin with, so I like his long movie cinematic. And
I can't say anything, but there's the one part that I was just like, get to it. I think I know what you're talking. You know what I'm like?
Yeah.
When you're at the end, where you had to like trigger.
Yeah.
I was just like, get to it.
I mean, I dig it. I dig it. Like I really like that. You know, not just his games, but I like kind of the like production and presentation that Kojima does.
Yeah, he doesn't just copy paste things.
And definitely one thing that is nice with Death Stranding is, you know, I mean, I think that it wasn't so vague and it wasn't so abstract, like helped. Because I'm sure a lot more people would have been turned off if it was abstract on top of being a little unusual for the gameplay.
Yeah.
But I mean, gameplay-wise, you know, yeah, you're traveling, but there's mules to deal with. We didn't even talk about like the BTs at all, like.
No, not yet. Yeah, but I was gonna say I just said the only people that you really see that aren't holograms, except for in very small situations, are those guys, or the other porters when you unlock. I couldn't figure out how to trade with those guys.
You can't trade with the porters once you get a good.
Yes, you can.
Well, you can take their stuff, or they'll offer you the gear.
There's even a trophy for it, and I'm like, did I not just have anything they want? I would be like, here's some boots.
No, so basically you just go up
this.
to them and you know, you hit the touchpad, so you'll say like, mine's heavier or hello, and then they'll offer up, they'll like hold out their gear.
No, I know that, but you're supposed to be able to trade with them.
Oh.
They gave me lots of shit, but I was like, is my stuff stink or something?
You sure it wasn't like using the mailboxes?
Trading with the actual porters, like the actual dudes walking around. Yeah, there's a thing for it.
I didn't read.
And I even looked it up. And it said like, I was like, yeah, because I was like, does it mean through that? I was like, I think it means these guys that I keep seeing. And I'm like, they gave me stuff, and they're like, I'm holding something in my hand too, but they're like, no, that stinks. I don't want it.
The first time I saw it,
I don't need your ready asshole boots.
Yeah, the first time I saw a friendly porter, I didn't realize that. I didn't even know because I went media blackout.
Yeah, like this guy's not attack. This guy's not even attacking.
No, so the first time I saw him, it was like shortly after the first time I stole a truck.
Oh, okay.
And I just ran him down, and then the other porter with him was like cowering, and I was like, what the hell's going on? So I jumped out of the truck, and then I noticed their outline was different, and I was like, oh, and then the other guy was like,
I just did a murder and I'm a total dick.
Yeah. And then I lost a bunch of likes because
I'm surprised it didn't like make you fail, and like, when you kill a friendly in like Metal Gear or something, where just you fail. Well, why'd you do it?
Yeah.
You're supposed to bring us together, Sam. Everyone yells at you on the radio.
Yeah.
Kind of a callback. This doesn't bring us together, man. It's murder. They even actually tell you, like, don't kill the mules. You just beat them up. Because when they give you, like, an assault rifle and shit, they're like, yeah, but don't kill anybody. We don't need more, void outs.
Yeah.
So I was like, but I wanna. Even when you get the power gloves, it's like, don't punch anyone with those. I'm like, still gonna.
Like
They're basically like Wolverine claws almost.
Yeah. I know we can't, unless we go like full spoilers, we can't talk too much about like the finer details, but yeah, just
The BTs,
like,
we might as well talk what they are. They're like basically like they seem like they're trapped between worlds, between the world of the dead and the world of the living, and that's the reason you have a baby on your chest. Because a lot of people are like, what the hell's the point of that? Do you just have to bring the baby somewhere? And without going too much into it, the baby basically is a bridge between the world of the living and the world of the dead, and it helps you detect these things. They look like shadows basically floating, and you got to try and sneak by them, or they'll send that dude from Star Trek The Next Generation after you that is like made out of oil.
Yeah, you set them off, and then you have an initial phase where they'll have these dudes that try to like drag you down, and then if you get dragged down,
they catch you, and then all of a sudden this like big pool of like tar opens under you, and you walk really slow, and you gotta like shake them off. But if they manage to drag you down, it gets pretty
crazy.
hairy.
But
They don't kill you like Tashiar though, so you're good to go.
There you go. So like the overall like backstory and like lore and the whole concept of the BTs and the Death Stranding and Void Outs I thought was really cool.
I liked that.
But I will say I wish the BTs were more of a menace and more threatening, because
they were more of a pain in the ass. You're just like, fuck. It was always just like, yeah, of course I'm going to run into him here because there's no way I can really get around. I'd run into him a lot of times when I'm on a bridge, like a made bridge by someone. I'm like, come on, even on the bridge.
Yeah.
If you're in a vehicle, it's more of a pain. If truck especially,
yes,
which
especially
adds to my fuck trucks thing, because the little flickery arm thing that you might have seen, if you haven't played it, it basically is like a flashlight hand thing, and it points in the area where the BTs are, so you can kind of avoid them attacking you. So that's where you sneak through. But when you're in the truck, you can't see where it's pointing, so you're just kind of just driving along, and all of a sudden they just pop up in the middle of the road like a deer, and you're like, no, now I gotta get out of my truck and run away. Yeah, but there's ways to take them down without that happening. But by the end of it, I was not stealthing at all, and I just probably like the last 5 chapters, the only stuff on my back was 4-barrel rocket launchers and anti-BT guns and grenades and assault rifle. Like I was just a walking arsenal out of
You're
nowhere.
a BT dispatching machine, but a poor porter.
I was commando. Yeah. It was, even when those weird like jellyfish looking ones, I shot them all. I didn't even avoid them. I was like, no, I'm shooting these. So yeah. I didn't feel like delivering. Like I said in my little review, I do enough deliveries in real life that there wasn't enough variety in the actual deliveries to kind of keep me interested.
Well,
so
I mean,
what I had.
Yeah, once you do one delivery, you do all the deliveries. I mean, the deliveries are deliveries, just to locations of different weights. Sometimes they'll put on some stipulations like it's fragile, so you can't fall over, or
you can't even put it on your back. You carry it in your hand.
Yeah, you have to carry it in your hand.
Looking at you, champagne bottles. Walk across the entire map with these champagne bottles in your hand. You're like, I can just put them on like a seat, and drive.
Yeah. But I mean, you're essentially traveling main location to main location to connect these places. But doing deliveries and stuff in the meantime, you can connect the additional survivors. It helps you generate revenue in upgrades and stuff, so you can have money to build roads or build the things that you want that make your life easier. Or they give you the various like level 2 version of this, or here's a new weapon,
a new thing to help, a new tool to help you walk better and carry more weight. So basically, general thing is you're like an Amazon delivery guy that sometimes hooks people up to the internet, and then they have the internet now and they can communicate with people. And that's how you bring the world together, is with internet.
Kind of.
And the mules are basically just those porch thieves that steal your packages before you get there. So that's where the Amazon guy comes in.
Yeah.
And you're you're definitely not a UPS delivery guy, because you give a shit and you're like, I'm getting these packages where they're going. I don't care. I'm not just throwing them on someone's porch. That's basically how I felt about it. But the weirdest thing to me, and I mentioned it to you, was, so America's just like 100 miles wide?
Yeah.
When you travel, like when you do a delivery, it shows like you're traveling. And I'm like, I've went across the country on foot in not too long. What?
Wow.
And then you go like, you'll go like a pretty long way, and it'll be like, yeah, you went 10 miles, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you look at the map, and it's like, you've done this much, and I was like, so essentially America's 100 miles wide, and I didn't know that. So I learned geography from Death Stranding.
There you
that
go.
was the only realism thing that kind of. I was like, huh. I was like, is this? Oh no, I'm just like reconnecting this region, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was the entire United States. Okay. But besides, I thought that was gonna be something that they'd reveal why that was weird, but they didn't. So.
Oh, I get it. It's hard to do that massive of a distance.
Yeah,
in a video game.
I just thought it was funny.
I mean,
I thought you'd go to different areas and you'd be like, yeah, you've traveled this, like it would kind of fill in the holes.
I mean,
Like,
it's a good jaunt from one side of the map to the other.
That's for sure. And it likes to make sure you do that.
Especially if you're doing deliveries, because you're going to be traveling back and forth through a lot of locations. And I will say, so for anybody wondering, like, why, if you don't have to do these deliveries, why, besides the gear and whatnot, is, as you do more deliveries, you essentially, like, level up your relationship with the different locations. And as you get, like, it's like, once you get the first, like, star is, like, usually when they, like, will join you, which is kind of the general idea. And then as you do more deliveries, you get additional stars, which give you the different upgrades, and they give you like the ability to build more stuff in like a zone, and
it shows you what other people. It actually unlocks other things that people have made. That's how.
Yeah.
It's called the chiral network, and it's basically once you get a certain person on board with it, because some people are really standoffish and like, I don't know, I don't trust you guys. Or some people are like, actually, get the fuck out of here. As soon as you bring them, I just needed some shit. Get the fuck out of here. And you have to like really work on getting them linked up. But when they get linked up, that's when you unlock the online stuff from other people in that area. So then the bridges will start appearing and the roads. And that was really cool. And that made it more why you would want to kind of do that as much as possible.
Yeah.
More than just it makes you.
And there are some, there's a handful of them that are optional that you don't have to like bother with.
Yeah.
But quite a few actually.
Yeah, there's like, and I don't take kindly to you saying to me that I'm a terrible porter, because when I did my job, I did it fucking excellently.
You were efficient. You didn't dilly down.
I S ranked everything I delivered.
Mm-hmm.
Through the whole game. But there's also these automated delivery bots that are absolute trash, and they are the UPS that you can send them to do the deliveries you don't feel like doing, and they suck ass.
They're
and
the
they'll
UPS.
deliver stuff they'll deliver stuff like 90% broken when they're like, I'd like it, there's like a goal like, under 50% damaged. And they get it there and it's like 89% damaged, and you're like, man, you had to go like a mile, and it's actually decent terrain. How did you manage that?
Yeah,
like, they go out of their way.
They're pretty terrible. That's definitely a system that can be improved, is with those, because they would get I just
felt better about myself when I did it. I was like, look at me.
Yeah, they really
didn't bust up yo shit.
Do any significant benefit overall.
No, because
they give you like a sliver of upgrade, but
Yeah, because I don't know if there's something I just missed. Maybe there's somewhere that you can upgrade those and they
no,
get
they
better.
suck as far as I know. Eventually you get 2 of them, and you can have 2 of them doing jobs.
Oh yeah, I had 2 of them.
But they trip over everything apparently because like it's just legs with a carriage.
Yeah, it's legs with a webcam face, and it just goes just like sings to itself for some reason.
I mean, that's a
Like, alright.
good way to get give
They
away
make
your
my kids laugh
location.
every time. Yeah, then they get robbed probably. And, I don't know. It was pretty cool. I just laughed at him. The kids laughed at him every time I deployed one. Like, oh, there he goes. He's just legs. That's all I'd say. The robot's just legs. And he sings funny songs.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Like I said, maybe feel better about myself. So the only shitty deliveries I got done in my playthrough were through those guys. Because,
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Any other things are like worth kind of sort of touching on?
Yeah, nothing really that before without going into the story.
Yeah.
I don't think.
And acting was
unfortunately,
great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was probably the best. There was only one that kind of stood out that wasn't that good. I don't know if it was just I was very aware that they were acting. Was the chiral artist's daughter?
Oh sure.
I don't know. I thought hers was not the best, but
Yeah.
everyone else in the game was amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know, like I said, we already said Kojima, so there's very lengthy cutscenes, but they're very expertly done. Like this could have easily been a movie, or more like a series, because it's a long story to tell. Like I said, I watched a movie when I beat the game, so.
And honestly, I would say compared to other games, like, I mean, there was some long cutscenes, but like if you've played any of the Metal Gear games, there's way more of those.
Metal Gear, like you almost fall asleep.
You almost fall asleep, maybe. I edge of my seat.
How long there? But
I get into that. Like, I get hyped.
They're good. That's what I mean. They're that long that your controller turns off from inactivity. So my controller falls asleep. Because I actually had that. I think it actually happened during 5.
Maybe.
I think it was 5 or 4 where my controller literally just turned off from sitting on my table for so long. It's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, like, final thoughts, then, for Death Stranding is, I don't know, if it looks interesting to a person, I'd say check it out. Don't really... I've only seen a couple of reviews that I saw that really kind of touched on some of the more nuanced stuff. I'll give a shout out to there's a YouTube channel, a friend of the Cartridge Club, Caleb J. Ross. Does usually after he finishes a game, he does kind of like a little quick discussion on his thoughts, and he really. I think he did a really good job talking about the Strand system. Not even necessarily a full game review.
He just talks about things he likes, things he doesn't. Just kind of like a little pros and cons thing.
But he really does a good job of explaining how the Strand system worked and how important it was. But yeah, I mean, the game is damn
But you
good.
can beat it without really utilizing it.
Yeah, and there's definitely...
I never followed anybody else's thing. I can go my own way. So I generally did, but then I'd be like, oh yeah, I guess I could have went that way when I look and saw someone else's path. I was shitty. Kind of Skyrim.
Yeah.
Skyrimed up a couple.
Breath of the Wild.
No, it was more Skyrim.
Think so?
Link can climb. Skyrim was literally I can't get over this rock, but I can go over this identical one. A little bit, but
sheer.
But there'd be parts where it was very steep, and I couldn't get up this part that looked like I could easily get up. But if I walked sideways, along it, I could go up better. Oh yeah. No, I know about that part, but I mean but it was like
Yeah.
you wouldn't go walk up here without sliding because it was so steep. But if I like sideways walked, the Skyrim thing where you go up the mountain instead of going a little bit around it on the actual path that it wants you to go on, you just go, nah, I'm just gonna zigzag and I'll get up there eventually.
Yeah.
Stubborn ass.
But I mean, you can pretty much go like as long as it's in the edge of the map, you can go there. You can climb the tallest mountain. You can, yeah.
But don't use a truck.
I guess.
Unless you want to haul a bunch of shit and you don't have very far to go on a rarely found flat area.
Yeah. So yeah, I wish more people would have an open mind about this game. There's like I think the memes, like that was the big thing before the game even came out. Like, detracted.
My favorite meme I've seen was the shipping ship with all the shipping containers like tipping over, and it just said something like hold L2 to stabilize.
Sure.
Did you see that one?
Yeah. No, I haven't, but I can picture it, and it sounds hilarious.
Yeah, I was just like perfect.
I know what picture.
Yeah.
I know exactly what picture you're talking about. Guaranteed.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I was gonna send it to you. I thought I did.
But it is legit. Like a great game. It does some really interesting, innovative things. It does borrow from some elements, and some elements aren't so surprising or could be improved upon. But
if you want like nonstop action and like tons of that kind of stuff, like combat and shit, then it might not be for you. There is some. I saw some people saying the shooting parts needed more work, like they should have put more work in them. Like, I don't know, get good at shooting and stuff.
Yeah, I
really liked those parts. Like those parts were excellent.
Yeah.
But like I said in my little review part is like I wasn't expecting like a war game or something where I was just constantly shooting.
Got a little bit of
I knew what I was getting into, but I was like, well, I didn't really know what I was getting into. I kind of went media blackout from after I saw the first couple of things too.
Same.
And I was, like I said, I would have liked a little bit those parts to be a little bit longer or something like that. Or like even like part of your deliveries, I would have liked a little bit more variety in how they wanted you to do it or stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's just nitpicks. But like if for someone who played it differently than you, like if you just want the story, you can just power through it.
Yeah. Yes.
But you can do an excellent job delivering stuff, but just do it quickly and do the deliveries on the way. But if I gotta recommend some deliveries, deliver those pizzas.
Absolutely delivered the pizzas.
Definitely. I'm not saying why, just deliver them pizzas.
Well,
not just because I'm a Domino's delivery guy, but deliver them pizzas.
Yeah, deliver.
Because you're not gonna regret it.
Yeah.
I just felt like out of honor I had to deliver the pizzas when they came up, and then it turned out to be a good thing that I did.
Yeah.
So I recommend everyone else do that as well.
Totally. All right. Well,
I felt represented in a game for once. Guy with long hair and kind of a beard delivers stuff. Always has a kid hanging off him.
Cool. Well, let's jump into the community question then. Last time, the question was, what are some of your favorite Famicom or Super Famicom games or import games?
Imports in general, yeah.
And we came up with that because back in the day, Gamer is kind of like getting into the import collecting for the Famicom, and Jason collects some of those as well. So
yeah, I do Super Famicom, but I've got a converter so I can actually start collecting the Famicom. But that's going to be probably a Midwest Gaming Classic thing if I see some there. But I don't think I'll go too far out of my way. Maybe a couple ones that I really want for now. But yeah, I've only recently kind of started getting import games, like some PS4 ones because they're region free, stuff like that. PS3 ones because they're region free. I even got imported some PSP games, which is weird, but I needed them to complete my Yakuza collection. I have every Yakuza game released physically now, waiting on the Yakuza collection coming out with 3, 4, and 5 for PS4. So I'll finally have a physical copy of 5 and completely completing my Yakuza collection. So
There you go.
but yeah, the Super Famicom I've kind of been dabbling in for a while. I don't really go too hard at it, but this is something I really like.
I haven't started either because adding another system to collect for. Ugh.
It's just Super Nintendo with tabs broken off, as far as I'm concerned.
Sure.
And sometimes I'm like, what?
But we did get some responses this time, so that
Excellent.
is awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
so-
good to see.
So Do You Nerd says if they had to choose Famicom game, I'd probably have to stick to Wanpaku Graffiti. Spent a whole lot of time with them, but that's the one I often go back to.
You can't go wrong with Wampa Graffiti, which is Splatterhouse for people who don't know. For the
Chibi
NES.
Splatterhouse.
Chibi Splatterhouse, yeah. Not in any way like the original Splatterhouse on the TurboGrafx or PC Engine.
It's supposed to be awesome. I haven't played it yet.
It's pretty cool.
Myself.
I picked it up the same time I picked up my copy of New Ghostbusters 2
Yeah.
at Midwest Gaming Classic the first year I went, so 2 years ago.
Yeah.
There is a nice package and everything. It's all on a repro cart, but when I do start ordering some NES or some Famicom games, I probably will be picking up the legit article.
Cool. So then we got a comment from Black Metal Gamer. Feels like it's been a while since he chimed in on a community question.
Yeah.
So he says, import games, I like Choaniki for the comedic what the fuck reasons.
Hell yeah.
Choaniki it's a game, that's for sure. A lot of buff dudes and speedos. It's definitely a what the fuck
Yeah.
game. Choaniki, for anybody who wants to look it up. Choaniki.
Choniki, a little bit cheeky.
Yeah, a little bit. Then he also says Kid Dracula on the Famicom is a great one as well as Holy Diver, but the best is probably Terranigma or Sweet Home.
Hell yeah, I haven't played Sweet Home, but I've heard good stuff about it. There's ones I really want to get. There's like stuff like Live a Live.
Yes.
There are, what else did I have?
All the Squaresoft
Dark Half.
Super Nintendo games we didn't get.
Dark Half is a really cool one. I've got a bunch already. I've got like Bahamut Lagoon, Terranigma. I do have. I've had Trials of Mana for a while. It just says Secret of Mana 2 on it. But yeah. But as far as legit ones go, like I did Go Ackman a couple episodes ago for my retro game highlight, and I stick by those. Those are awesome. I also recently ordered up on Gambare Goemon 2, 3, and 4, which is basically Legend of the Mystical Ninja 2, 3, and 4.
Nice.
They are dirty cheap, and if you like Legend of the Mystical Ninja, Marvit ain't gonna hurt. I haven't gotten them yet, but I have looked into them pretty extensively, and they look awesome.
Sweet.
There's another one called Magiu. I don't know. It's hard to say. Magiu. Majyuuu. It's I believe it's a running gun. It's pretty awesome too.
Sweet.
I played a ROM of it a bit ago, and it looks pretty cool. There's quite a few. Is there any that you've been kind of eyeing to check out even?
Not so much.
You haven't really. Besides Gourmet Sentai, is it? Gourmet
not a
Sentai?
ton. I mean, like I said, the Squaresoft games we didn't get. It's mostly like Super Nintendo RPGs.
Yeah. That's why I go after the Super Famicom first.
But every once in a while I see a game and I add it to the list, and we'll see someday. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I won't.
Yeah, I had the reason I started getting them was when I was getting into Fire Emblem. I found out, there's a bunch on there, so I got the repros of all the Super Nintendo titles, stuff like that. Because they started on the Famicom, but I believe the first release on the Super Famicom has the first two that are on the NES, basically like a upscaled version of those.
Mm-hmm.
So, eventually, now that I can play the genuine article, I might just get them for the collection. But those are heavy text games, so I would not know what the hell's going on. So I'm probably better off sticking with my repro. I've got the repros of the three, and then I've got two of the three on the legit Super Famicom cart. But one of them is actually pretty pricey, so I never ended up snagging it. Bummer. Maybe at some point.
Yeah. So then last comment we got about the community question was, even though he was a guest on the episode, Back in the Gamer.
He promised.
Yeah, wanted to chime in some more.
You said it again, man.
What?
You just said Back in the Gamer again.
No, I didn't. I said Back in the J Gamer. I swear to God. Whatever. We'll see. Anyways, he says he's been going through all of his Famicom, Super Famicom games. Super Back to the Future 2 is very cool because it follows the movie so much.
I have wanted to check that one out for a while.
He says the controls aren't great. And then he also mentions Goonies, Antarctic Adventure, and Metro Cross on the Famicom. Keep him entertained for a long time.
Sweet.
And he decided not to play anything else.
Super Back to the Future 2, though, it's got some beautiful sprite work, too.
I don't think I've actually... I might have seen... I've had to have seen something about that.
Yeah. Enlighten yourself.
Yeah.
It's it's always looked cool. I think it's actually going up a little bit. Someone must have talked about it in a video. But for the most part, a lot of the stuff that's expensive for the Super Nintendo cart, you can get pretty cheap. Like the Mega Man X games, instead of like $100-$200, Mega Man 7, for like 200 something bucks now probably. You can get them for like $20 each. You're just gonna have to put up with the factor called Rockman.
Yeah. So I didn't prepare a community question for next week.
All right, so the community question this week is he saying Back in the Gamer or Back in the Gamer?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, and do you think Death Stranding is for you? Have you played it? What are your thoughts on it? I want to hear. It's like I said, it seems to be a very polarizing game in the community for various reasons. It's all up to personal taste, what you feel like doing. What you expect out of it.
Yeah. I'm interested. I've been seeing a lot of random, I don't know. It's weird. It seems like I've seen some people hating on it because people are excited for it. I've seen people hating on it because it's Kojima. I don't understand why.
No. I've seen a couple people saying it's like a smell your own fart situation. He's up his own ass with stuff, but yeah. I say it's worth it even just for the story. Honestly, the story I've found the most engaging part. I just wanted to know what was going on.
I think the atmosphere, just because I did a lot of exploring, and just kind of exploring and traversing these terrains and walking down here. You come down this, big cliff, windy route, and opens up into this big valley, and then it's one of the moments where one of these songs kicks in because he uses them music very sparingly in the game, but it's always when you basically approach a vista, or
you get a long walk ahead of you and then it kind of pans back a little bit.
Yeah.
Where you're not in any danger and it knows you're probably not going to be in danger for a little while.
It's
because you're not near a BT area or the
here's some
mules.
chill tunes to set the mood.
It was music I wouldn't pop on in the car and listen to, but it was music that fit the game perfectly.
Totally.
That makes it. It was definitely perfect for the. Excellent soundtracks. A lot of them, I think, if not all the music, a lot of it was written specifically for the game, so it really fits the mood. It's got notable bands, stuff like that. not one. Like I said, not ones I generally listen to. I've seen some people being hype about the Bring Me the Horizon contributions, saying it's like some of their best stuff in years. I'm like, I wouldn't know. I don't really listen to them. So,
Same.
but like someone on my friends list who's not a gamer or anything was like, "Oh, check out this new song," and I was like, "Yeah, the game's pretty good too." And she's like, "Oh, it's from a game." It's like, it's what music from Death Stranding on that cover that you just posted the picture of means.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not a movie.
Cool. Yeah. So let us know your thoughts. You know, any thoughts for or against or random Death Stranding related? Let us know what you think. So let's check out some games coming out in the next couple weeks here.
Should we?
Let's.
I just got Neverwinter Nights finally came in. Speaking of Neverwinter Nights earlier, throwback to talking about KOTOR.
I might have got it too.
You might have got it?
I might have got it because it's like...
Did my pressuring work and go, you constantly bring it up as one of your favorite games ever and you're not getting the remaster? Did the devil on the shoulder come through?
Might have got it.
Excellent. Yeah. I'm happy to have that shown. I haven't got to pick it up yet. I was waiting for the last of my Black Friday purchases to be delivered and they got delivered too late. So I pushed it till tomorrow because it would have been too close to the kids getting out of school. You know, then we got to basically as soon as they get out of school, it's like a routine for the rest of the night. So that killed that idea. But tomorrow afternoon, I'll be picking it up and I'll be picking up my. I think I behaved for Black Friday. I only bought like I think 7 games, but I only paid about the price of like 1 and a little bit, 1.5.
Nice.
And then I randomly bought the Goemon games because I just randomly, I don't know why, was like, hey, wait, I think there's more of those. And then those will be showing up later though. Those were coming from Japan, so
Yeah.
But the Black Friday ones are pretty sweet. I was happy to. I kind of didn't realize it was Black Friday, and I was like taking some stuff out of my cart because I found it locally, so I didn't need to order it anymore. And then I noticed that Indivisible was $15.
Nice.
And it was $50 before, I think. And I was like, why is that so cheap? You know, Church says it's a good game.
Awesome.
I haven't heard anything bad about it. And why is it going so cheap already? And I was like, oh shit! Then I ended up laying in bed and just searching up stuff and found a couple more awesome deals. And they didn't really advertise them really well though. Like if you go to like the actual deals, it lists maybe like 20 games, but if you just looked up like straight up looked up PS4 games, I found a whole bunch that, you know, they weren't really advertising. I almost even picked up Mortal Kombat 11 because it was going so cheap, but I'm really, really for some reason holding out for that complete edition because it never fails. I'll wait and I'll be like, oh man, they're not doing a complete edition, and then I'll finally pick it up, and then on the next week or that day, the complete collection's coming out for the same price you just paid. Cool.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the only ones I held back on.
Yeah. I think from what I'm looking at, the list I'm looking at, it seems like the only other like kind of notable new release that I'm interested in is Terminator Resistance.
Hell yeah. They pushed that back though. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be back out already. Apparently it's pushed back to past 2 weeks, man. You're breaking the rules now.
I got a date listed as December 10th.
Yeah, but it got pushed back. Amazon's telling me it's coming out like January 7th now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you did. I
yeah.
sent you the thing. I sent you the pouty post about it.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
no, why they do this? And sad memes and
Expect me to remember things? Come on.
yeah. Come on, man. Pouted. It made me sad. I gotta remember my sad things. Yeah, so still looking forward to it. I haven't heard amazing stuff about it, but I'm still interested because Terminator.
Yeah.
And I don't need to tell anyone how
Looks
much
cool.
I like
I think
Terminator.
it looks cool. Any other releases you see?
Nothing really. I think everyone's got their stuff out pretty much for the holiday season.
Yeah.
Now. And I think they're just pushing that game back for the It's gonna be closer to the Blu-ray release. I think that's coming out right away here, though, on like the 17th.
Sweet.
So, looking forward to that.
Cool.
I don't think there's really anything else.
A lot of ports.
I mean, when Terminator's coming out, why would you even put out anything else? Like, just don't even bother.
Sure.
If you don't like Terminator.
Fuck you, asshole.
Absolutely. But, it's not even related to the movie at all. It's just kind of feature war thing, and I'm down for more of that.
Yeah. Looks cool.
I for one, really enjoyed the new Terminator, but a lot of people...
I did too. I thought it was great.
Everyone I know that seems to have liked it that I know that saw it. So, I don't know. It's getting shit on by... I mean, there was a couple small nitpicks, but overall...
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. Well, as we wrap things up here, what are you going to be playing in the next couple weeks now that you beat all these games?
I'm going to be playing a bunch more games and beating a bunch more games.
Hell yeah.
I'm at almost 70 games beat, I think, this year.
He's a madman.
And I'm thinking I might just get out that my arcade stick and plow through a bunch. I'm going to try and beat 100 games by the end of the year. And those are shorter games, but I'm pretty thorough when I beat those. Like, even if it's got different characters, I usually play through as both characters kind of thing. So, I calls it fair. And I'll probably play some, I don't know, a couple other games that are just, like, shorter. I don't really feel like another long-ass game. I've been beating these, like, 40-hour games, the last few ones, you know, like just Outer Worlds, Death Stranding.
Star Wars.
Star Wars is a bit shorter, but yeah, still pretty lengthy. I want some kind of compact stuff, but I want to get to some VR. But we'll see.
Sweet.
I might just jump into Neverwinter Nights. I don't know. I've also got the other two releases to go with those, so I don't know. It's all up in the air. I'll just be playing some games.
Sounds good.
Try to play them at the rate that I get them. I might even just... I might fire up the PS3 and play Rambo the video game before I get Terminator, because they're the same developer.
Sure.
And I heard nothing but bad stuff about that, but I'm actually going to play it with the PlayStation Move. And I got the Move controller, like the stick controller that a lot of people don't even seem to know exists. It's basically the Wii Nunchuck.
Yeah.
But for the... I actually got it specifically to play Rambo. And I don't know. I'll see if any other games use it, but yeah, apparently it's probably the best way to play that game. So I'll give Rambo his due.
Cool.
See if I regret it. Stay tuned to see if I absolutely regret playing Rambo. But yeah, I'm feeling some light gun gamey stuff. Even if I play VR, I'll want to play something kind of gallery shooter or arcade shooting. So, what do you got coming up besides more KOTOR?
I can't imagine I'm going to beat KOTOR in less than 2 weeks. Or 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah. So it's probably just going to be KOTOR.
Well, I mean, then there's KOTOR 2 you got to beat it immediately after. You
right.
can't just play one KOTOR. Dude.
I hear there's a lot of like really nice improvements into KOTOR 2.
Why don't you find out about them?
Yeah,
Playing it.
one of these days.
It's the only way. I wouldn't go by reviews. I'd go by personal opinion.
Right.
My
I know. I hear
personal
it's
opinion.
excellent. So.
Yeah. There's a reason that people are clamoring for a third one and just don't want EA to make it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will go ahead and let anybody who's still listening, let them know how they can find us if they want to get a hold of us. Of course, the podcast is available on SoundCloud, YouTube, and podcast apps. Just look up the Game Tenants Podcast. If you want to get a hold of me, you can go on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Look up the Game Grinder, and you will find me. And you can go to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and look up Corpse Flood Gaming. Definitely.
I'm trying to have some videos out in the next bit, too. I'm tired of not having
Nice.
no videos. Tired of it.
Nice.
So we'll stay tuned for that. I'm going to try.
Sounds
Try
good.
my best.
So I think that is going to do it for this episode of the Game Tenants Podcast. Let us know your thoughts. Hit us up. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time.
See you later.